Everyone is in their seats here at the Pepsi Center as the Nuggets look to grab a win here in downtown Denver, Colorado. Looking at the last game for the Cleveland Cavaliers, it was a win against the Jazz. And there wasn't much question as to how that game was going to turn out. They absolutely put the hammer down on them.
And they were nearly flawless offensively in that win, Kevin. Once they got rolling, they just did not stop.
My kind of performance to watch, guys. Efficient and potent. Very strong.
And look at the starters for the Cavaliers. The two stars, LeBron and Love, at the 3 and the 4. Kyrie Irving is out there with Jackson, and it's Verjao in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
That rebound and the follow kind of typify what he's all about. Just gritty, determined play.
LeBron dishes to Verjao. That's good.
Great job to hit his teammate on that move, Kevin.
Anderson Verjao, a quality defensive center. Great rebounder, moves his feet well, anticipates, plays with a ton of energy, and he's one of those irritants. He gets under a lot of guys' skin.
Now, here is Foy. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Sacramento. Clock at 6. And Lawson with the drive. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Lawson's got his first points in this one.
You know, the height difference there is huge, but he canceled it out with great body control in the air.
Exactly, Steve. He got to the hoop and wouldn't allow himself to be manhandled by the big boy.
Here's Jackson. And the rebound by Nurkic.
And Verjao coming in to the league primarily as a defensive energy guy, but he's expanded his offensive skill set and has made great improvement as a passer. From his rookie season to now, he's more than doubled his rate of assists.
The drive by LeBron. Here's the floater, and he gets it to go.
He's never going to pass up on a chance like that. Even with just a sliver of daylight, this guy can get to the rim.
And Verjao, a good decision-maker, Steve, for a center. A 2-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio last year.
And he had a terrific season as a two-point jump shooter. You know, able to spread the defense out a little bit and operate from the high post.
And it's out of bounds. The Nuggets able to retain possession here. Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
I briefly spoke with Brian Shaw. Team rebounding is something he stressed to his side, and rightfully so when you face a player that gobbles up the glass like Kevin Love. He told me that Love rebounds at an unreal rate, and his side can't take any mental breaks when it comes to boxing out on the defensive end. Love's numbers validate that fear, guys.
Thank you, Doris. And stolen by Kyrie Irving. It's Jackson with the drive. Can't hit from in close.
Well, those chances are almost always 2 points for him. I guess the defense did what it had to do to bother him.
The Cavaliers have gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game. Once again off the mark by Cleveland. Denver's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. And Fareed kicks to Chandler. Foy the pass to Fareed. From past the arc. And it's Foy missing. Here comes Irving. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Utah Jazz. And Love gets it to go.
Love the interior passing. He knew exactly where to go with that ball.
Here is Lawson. Fareed outside. Now Chandler inside. And the rejection by James.
I don't know if it's just me, but he's looked a step slow since the start of the quarter. His shooting has really suffered.
It's stolen by Lawson. Foy the pass to Nurkic. Lawson outside. Now the feed to Chandler. That doesn't go either for Chandler.
Tell you what, boy, it's hard to watch when the guy gets good shots and misses them. He's missed everything this quarter.
You know, every year there are a handful of teams in the Eastern Conference that buck the trend against the West, and last year Cleveland was one of them.
And Kevin, as you said, most teams in the East struggled out of conference, but Cleveland was pretty solid against the West, and I think they'll be even better with LeBron.
Absolutely. And it's the Cavaliers with the ball. Denver getting their last shot to go. And here's James outside.
You know, guys, if he does his work early, he knows when he gets in a good position, his size gives him a big edge on the glass.
The Cavaliers shooting their first free throws. First trip to the line in this one. That free throw good from Love.
Love is known for how explosive he can be on offense, but he still gets knocked on for his defensive prowess or lack thereof. He seems to be tiring of it, though, and has put in a lot of work. I think he's gotten better.
JaVale McGee's checked in for the Nuggets. Now, here is Lawson. 11 points for him in that last game against the Kings in Sacramento.
And no question, you look at his assist totals. I mean, they tell you what a nice job he was doing with really spreading that ball around.
The Cavaliers have gotten 3 of 8 shots to fall for them here in the first quarter. I remember last season when Tyson Chandler had remarks about Love's defense, and Love just brushed it off. It's something he's heard before and has followed him even in his rise to the highest ranks of the NBA.
And I think it's been a bit of an overhyped and overstated problem for him. I mean, he does so much more on the court than people think. I don't think he'll ever be an NBA All-Star defender, but he's more than capable of holding his own at that end of the floor.
Catching up on the changes for Denver. Gallinari, he's checked in for Chandler. And Harris subbed in for Randy Ford. And Cleveland with a change here, too. Mozgov, he's checked in for Anderson Varejao. 4 on the shot clock. Fires from 14, off the left rim and out.
And it is very dangerous to leave him open like that. Lucky break for the defense that he missed it.
And he gets it to go. Jackson's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
A good open look, and he splashes home the 3.
Lawson outside. Now McGee inside. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
You know, last season, Denver really cleared the deck for JaVale McGee to take over as a starting center. But he only managed 5 games as a stress fracture in his tibia cost him the rest of the season.
With McGee's size and athleticism, Steve, the ownership in Denver infatuated with his potential.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons they traded away Costa Koufos. And remember, they changed head coaches. It was all sort of a way to clear the path for McGee, but you know, he wasn't healthy. So now we'll see if he's healthy, whether all that pays off for him.
Now Lawson, following the 3-point attempt by Kyrie Irving. And it's out of bounds. The Nuggets able to retain possession here.
Boy, that pass was in the air a long time.
Long enough for him to get a finger on it anyway and send it out of bounds.
Terrell Arthur, he's checked in for Denver. Nelson comes in for Ty Lawson. And then for Cleveland, Sean Marion, he's checked in for Love. Smith comes in for LeBron. And it's Iman Shumpert in for Kyrie Irving. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Well, Knicks ownership guys frustrated last season that Iman Shumpert didn't participate in the Summer League. And, Steve, they were hoping he'd test out for some minutes at the point guard position.
Yeah, that's right, Kevin. And we heard his name rise all season long in trade rumors.
And for Shumpert, his shooting numbers were down last season. He'd shot over 40% from long range in year 2, but was down to 33% last season. That can happen sometimes in the course of a career. Still good from the corners with Shumpert, but perhaps he shot too many from above the arc.
Now here's Jackson, following the shot by Jameer Nelson. And the basket by Jackson.
Offensively, he can be the engine that drives them at any given time.
Nelson kicks to Arthur. McGee with it. Dishes to Gallinari. Arthur sets the pick for Gallinari. And he comes off the screen to bury the jump shot.
And guys, for Shumpert, where he's got to improve is finishing around the rim. With his size and athleticism, I think he could be better scoring in the paint.
Jackson gets the bucket.
I don't know who was supposed to be on him there, but clearly a mistake by the defense.
The Nuggets trail by 5. Nelson outside. He dishes it to McGee. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. JaVale McGee, a 7-footer with length and athleticism, can certainly play on the perimeter defensively. Guards the rim so well. And Steve, you know, he can reach over 2 feet above the rim.
That's unbelievable. You look at him, Kevin, all the physical traits you look for in an elite pivot man. No question for McGee is just his decision-making and his development, you know, his focus. He's capable of making a spectacular play, but can he make the fundamental one? And that's what's held him back to this point.
Denver's gone 0-4 from three-point land to start out. Looking cold from outside. Nelson with it. Guarded now by Jackson. Gallinari. And too long on the shot. The Cavaliers leading by 4.
And McGee's flair for the unexpected, if you want to call it that, has made him a blooper reel regular. I mean, if he can just focus on being fundamentally sound and stay away from the extracurriculars, I think he could be one of the best centers in the game.
Denver calls timeout.
And JaVale McGee and Andre Blatch applying to play for the Philippines in the World Cup this past summer. Never shy when it comes to breaking with convention.
Cleveland on defense. They lead by 7. Doubled by Smith. Harris dishes to McGee. Down low. Arthur passes to Harris. Good ball movement here by the Nuggets. Shot clock at 5.
Well, let's look back to last year's Nuggets while we've got a moment here, Kevin. 2nd in rebounding, 4th in blocks. And they were in the top 10 in team scoring as well. This is a team that prides itself on its offensive firepower. And they get it done at that end of the court.
And this is a team that really relied most heavily on the rebounding numbers that you talked about. I mean, at top 5, they're a team that likes to attack the lane at both ends of the floor, really control the glass on defense and try to pound you inside with the offensive boards.
56 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Nelson outside. The leaner. It's rebounded by Cleveland.
He's not necessarily a strong inside presence, but he needs to polish those chances off.
And they will get the basket here, folks, as they rule goaltending.
He got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the block. But that one's going to count.
There's 39 seconds left in the first quarter. There's the pass to McGee. Nelson kicks to McGee, and so it looks like Denver will retain possession here. .27 seconds left to play in the first.
Well, the defense is doing a good job of challenging their shots.
Jackson against Harris. Jacks up a 3. That's good. 14 points for the Cobra.
Their offense has really come together immediately, threatening to run away with this game.
It's hard to imagine they'll be able to stay as hot as they've been so far, but if they can, watch out.
Pretty good defense there. I mean, that's a shot that he can make, but they really challenged him.
No good on the buzzer beater. And a double-digit lead on the scoreboard as we end the first quarter of play. Cavaliers lead by 13. And we'll be back in just a moment with the start of the quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for the Cavaliers.
Now, they didn't waste any time getting into a groove out there. They're dialed in from long range.
Something else they've done right so far from the get-go tonight is run. I mean, so much of their offense has come off the fast break.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. So out there for the Nuggets right now, Chandler and Fareed are at the forward spots. Foyle is out there with Lawson, and it's Nurkic in at the 5. And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Well, gentlemen, we all know the NBA has been adapting elements of the European game to its own game. It's a style that Cavs coach David Blatt is more than familiar with from his time abroad. Asked if he'd play LeBron at the stretch 4, he said, quote, "You'll see LeBron there. You'll see LeBron all over the floor just like he's used to playing. I don't have to change him." Guys, when you've got the best player in the world, it's certainly easier.
All right, thank you, Doris. And LeBron accustomed to playing the 4, arguably now his best position. And Cleveland making a change here. Miller's checked in. LeBron drives in, and it's Denver with the rebound. Nurkic has got 6 rebounds here tonight.
You know, it had been a decade-long run for the Nuggets, but last year it ended as they missed the playoffs for the first time since 2003.
James.
Watch out! Oh, what a throwdown there. Man! Tell you what, he's going to put that one in his scrapbook. absolutely insane with that dunk.
Well, now they're starting to rub it in, aren't they? Have build up a lead, and here we go, folks. It's showtime.
And why not? I mean, the more plays they make like that, the more they'll have these guys on the ropes.
Here's Lawson following the score by Cleveland. Tries from 10, and the shot is good. Lawson's got his second bucket of the game to go.
That is a terrific effort on the shot. He's giving up a lot of size, but still finds a way to score.
I don't think that affected him in the least, though, Steve. I mean, he made it look like he was the bigger guy.
The shot's good from LeBron.
And he may be the guy to put this game even farther out of reach.
So for the Nuggets, their last game, a loss to the Kings.
Well, loss or no loss, that was a fantastic game, Clark. They can be proud of the way they battled at least.
I suppose, but Steve, it still was a really heartbreaking loss. I mean, you hate to lose in overtime. No matter how hard you played, it still leaves you very empty and disappointed when you come up short.
Cleveland leading by 8. LeBron right side. Shot from free throw range. LeBron with another miss.
All he needed right there was simply to set himself up and then relax and shoot the ball. He threw himself off balance for no reason.
Fareed, no good. The Cavaliers have gone 2 of 5 from the field here in the second quarter, shooting 40%. From deep LeBron, and that one's good. LeBron's got 9.
I like the offensive awareness to exploit that lack of coverage on that play.
Denver calls timeout.
Well, Anderson Varejao staying relatively healthy last season. That's to say he only missed 17 games. Well, that's a far cry from his previous 3 seasons where he played a total of just 81 games.
The Nuggets trail by 11. Pass to Nurkic to the inside. 4. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass. And Varejao, Steve, has shown flashes of all-star caliber production at the center position. It's been his injuries that have really held him back.
Yeah, it's good to see him able to remain on the court for most of the season. I mean, a tough year for the Cavs last year record-wise, but Varejao, for him, a step in the right direction health-wise.
And the Cavaliers with possession here. Denver getting their last shot to go. And it's Miller in the corner. It's stolen by Foy. And here we go with Lawson running it right up the court. Rejected by Irving. And he's able to get it back. Fareed inside. He's going up against Love. LeBron outside. That's tipped. Nuggets have gone 4 of 8 so far here in the second quarter. And Chandler, here we go. The Cavaliers pull it in. Love's got 4 rebounds in this game.
It's just been a brutal outing for him. He still hasn't managed to make a shot, and the team is struggling because of it.
Here's Foy. That one falls, coming off Lawson's feet.
That was some skill there. Nice use of the bounce pass.
The Cavaliers leading by 7. And here's James outside. And that one's good. LeBron's got a pair of triples in the second now for the Cavs.
This is really the story of the game here. They've been excellent from behind the arc.
Lawson dishes to Fareed. Fades and shoots. And again, it's Denver.
Boy, they are passing the ball very crisply right now.
They sure are. That's 3 straight buckets that have come off of assists.
The drive by James. Varejao trying to free himself up. Again, James missing. For Denver, they've gone 6 of 11 from the floor. Over 50% shooting here in the second quarter. Lawson kicks to Chandler. Varejao grabs the board. Varejao's got 6 rebounds in the game.
It's easy to see why this team is losing. I mean, he's literally missed every shot he's put up today.
And Randy Foy gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. Now let's take a look at the most efficient scorers in the NBA from last year's campaign. 4th, LeBron James.
Now that's the name of the game for him, just putting the ball in the bucket. How about the season he had a year ago?
Gallinari, he's checked in for Nurkic. Once again off the mark by Cleveland.
Been a poor shooting performance for him today, but luckily for them, a lot of his teammates have come through.
Gallinari with it, guarded now by Kevin Love, and the basket good. Gallinari's got 6.
Boy, guys, they've shown some great passing on their last few trips down the floor. Excellent.
Yeah, that's 4 straight trips, guys, where their passes have ended up in scores. 4 straight assists. Great team play.
They get it again. Here's Love, the second chance effort, and he sinks the layup. He has 6.
He was the first one to react to that miss. Excellent anticipation on his part. A hustle play on the putback by him.
Now the dish to Gallinari. Chandler with the screen on Love. Now here is Gallinari. 6 points for him. Clock at 6. Takes a 3. Offensive rebound. Fareed loses his grip and misses the dunk. Here's LeBron. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
Well, last year LeBron mentioned that he was jealous of Durant's shot totals. Just an offhanded remark by him, but it did open up some speculation by what he meant.
Big group substitution here for Denver. JaVale McGee's checked in for Kenneth Fareed. Arthur comes in for Wilson Chandler. Harris is checked in for Randy Foy. And Nelson is subbed in for Ty Lawson. A big group substitution here for Cleveland. Mozgov, he's checked in for Verejao. Marion comes in for Kevin Love. Smith checked in for Mike Miller. And it's Jackson in for Kyrie Irving. And you know that remark by LeBron, people weren't sure if that was a backhanded jab at KD or if he was just pointing out how he is able to score without having to be a bulk shooter.
Well, one thing is for sure, I'm not exactly sure of what his comments, how you should interpret them, but LeBron was very aware of what Durant was doing last year, and he even admitted to having KD stats sent to his phone after every game, so he was keeping track of it.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Hi, Kevin. Well, Kyrie Irving so excited to play with LeBron James. He said, you have the best player on the planet coming to your team. Every game is going to be meaningful. I'm his point guard now. I was a 21-year-old kid just trying to learn. Now that Bron's here, I can learn how to be an even better teammate and an even better leader. Guys, over to you.
He's always had utmost confidence the Cavs would turn it around, and they're right on track. Now, here is Nelson. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Sacramento.
Yeah, he picked his spots in that game, too, Kevin, because I thought he not only did a nice job scoring, but setting up his teammates as well. Well, Danilo Gallinari back in action after missing all of last season after surgery to repair his meniscus back in 2013. 9 months later, it was decided that he needed an ACL reconstruction as well, so it's been a tough couple of seasons for Gallinari.
Now, here is Smith. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him.
Well, after that great first quarter from outside, he's cooled down here.
Nelson against Shumpert. McGee sets the pick for Nelson. Passes it to McGee. It's picked off. And it's Smith penetrating. And Shumpert kicks to Jackson. It's good from long range. Jackson's got 17 now.
And for Gallinari, pretty mobile for a 6'10" player. But coming back from major knee surgery, that's usually a 1.5-year process. We'll have to see how that impacts his game going forward.
Now, here is Nelson. All alone. Here's McGee. It's blocked. Jackson against Nelson. Marion kicks to Jackson. Outside Shumpert. Deflects the pass. And Marion gets it to go. The Gallinari that came into the NBA as a great three-point shooter, that percentage dropped year after year as he became, Steve, more of a slasher.
Yeah, and he might look to rewind and go back to that outside shot more as his knee takes time to get back to 100%.
Here is Nelson. Sean Marion making his last shot. Gallinari passes to Nelson. 5 on the clock. Misses from short range. The Cavaliers leading by 11. Now Jackson. He's got 17. Three-pointer. No good on that last second attempt there. And so that's the end of the first half. Cavaliers ahead. They're up by 11. And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, Jameer, what disappointed you about the way this team played in the first half, and what needs to change after the halftime?
I mean, we got to obviously keep them off the offensive boards. We're making a lot of mistakes, a lot of careless mistakes, things that we could change. But it's up to us to change them. Coach can't draw up something on that board that's going to change that. We have to come with effort, but we have to play smart. We can't go out there and lose our mind when we're trying to play hard.
Jameer, thank you, guys. He's visibly frustrated.
Thank you for the great interview, Doris. We'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime. We begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen. We're seeing a tremendous game here from the Cobra.
Well, in terms of his points in the first half, I mean, that's pretty much what we've come to expect out of him.
Yeah, that's an open book on all you need to know about what talent he has. I'll bet he adds a lot more to that tally in the second half.
The Nuggets trail by 11. So on the floor for Cleveland, the two stars, LeBron and Love. At the 3 and the 4, Kyrie Irving is out there with Jackson, and it's Verjao in at the 5.
He's doing his best to carry him, fellas, but he can only do so much. Things would be different for them if he was getting a little more help.
The Cavs were an all-out mess last year, and a lot of that was because of their depth. They just did not have the punch off the bench to keep leads or bring them back into games.
And here we go with Ty Lawson. Fareed, a screen on Irving. Lawson drives in and stolen by Kyrie Irving. For the finish, flushes it down to finish the break.
Well, there you go. One team operating on all cylinders at either end, steals, fast break buckets, and the other team scrambling to find its game.
Yeah, they've done a great job causing havoc and then taking advantage in transition offensively.
Here's Ford, following the score by Cleveland. Here's the screen. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Well, the Nuggets missed the playoffs last season for the first time in over a decade, but their star point guard, Ty Lawson, had his best season yet, with career highs in scoring and assists.
And the second free throw, good. And for Ty Lawson, Steve, he strikes a great balance between his own scoring and making plays for his teammates.
Well, he's a true point guard, but he's got shooting range and the athleticism and strength to take it inside and finish despite his smaller stature. And he really plays bigger than he is because of his lower body strength, Kevin. Way to play in attack mode and get inside.
And, you know, if you're on defense and you're going to foul, make sure it's a good one. They did, preventing the and one.
Wilson Chandler, a versatile forward, Steve, in his 7th season out of DePaul.
I like him, Kevin. I mean, he's strong enough to play inside, quick enough to guard on the perimeter, and then he's got that three-point range on his shot. So, very versatile player.
And Wilson Chandler, 2 seasons now removed from hip surgery, showing no ill effect last season as he started at the small forward spot in the place of the injured Danilo Gallinari.
What you like about Chandler, an inside-out scoring threat, and he's an explosive finisher around the rim, too, with shooting range that stretches out beyond the arc. So many accomplishments in LeBron's career, but one milestone he reached last year, 20,000 points, 5,000 assists, and 5,000 rebounds in his first 800 games played. That's incredible.
And Nurkic gets it to go.
Great job there, recognizing the mismatch and taking advantage.
They got to put a bigger guy on him, otherwise he'll bury those jumpers all game.
Now here's James. He's got 18. Three-pointer. Chandler with the rebound. Those stats you listed for LeBron through his first 800 games might sound a bit arbitrary, but it puts him in the company of only one other player, the Big O, Oscar Robertson.
And, you know, it's not a coincidence, Kevin, that they are the lone members of that group. Both so dominant in every facet of the game from the moment their career started. Really a lot of similarities between those two outstanding all-time greats. Their second half has started quite well. They've been good on 3 of their first 4 attempts.
Courtesy of the 2K leaderboard, here's a peek at the league's top scorers from a season ago. LeBron James 3rd, Kevin Love 4th.
And what an option either one of these two guys gives you, because they're both excellent safety valves when an offense is struggling.
And so here's Cleveland. LeBron drives in and count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
I love what they're doing, trying to put the hammer down, attacking the basket when they can.
This is his third trip to the free throw line in the game.
Now, last season he made good on about 3 of every 4 free throws, almost exactly 75%. We're seeing the Nuggets unable to defend against LeBron.
He's got 21 points, and from downtown, he's buried 3 three-pointers.
Yeah, when he's been able to get squared up and get a good look at the basket, it seems like everything's been going in.
Time called here. The Nuggets decide to talk it over.
Well, he may just be trying to get a break in the action to clear their heads. You know, a lot of their shots are rimming out. You wonder if their confidence isn't suffering at this point.
I think that's a good time to call a timeout. If a team has a few fall the wrong way for them, just burn a timeout and let them forget about it. Regroup, talk about it, and refocus.
Now, here is Lawson. 8 points for him. Chandler, no good. All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Yes, Kevin, Brian Shaw had some words for his team in that last timeout. He told them he wouldn't accept them settling for outside shots and said we can get to the rim if we attack the basket, and that's what we're going to do. Another part of what he said to them centered on his desire to see them shooting the ball every opportunity that presents itself. He said, fire away, guys. You've got the green light. Coach was not wasting any time in altering their strategy here in the second half. And Kevin, he's going to have to hope those changes take effect quickly.
Thank you, Doris. The shot's good from Lawson.
He had his choice of finishing moves there, and you just got to love the fact he went old school with the finger roll.
Feeds to Verajao. Irving kicks to James. Beyond the arc. That is good. LeBron's got 11 points here in just the second half.
And those are not the kind of three-point opportunities you can give to shooters in the NBA. These guys are just too good.
You're exactly right. It'll burn you every time, just like it's burning them here.
Here's Nurkic. He's got 10. Fareed a screen on Jackson. And Fareed with the basket on the assist by 4. And it's 8 points for Kenneth Fareed. The Cavaliers leading by 13. LeBron outside. And he overdid it there. Too much force, it looked like, on the foul, and he's called for the flagrant.
He really didn't give the official any choice, Kevin. Way too much body-to-body contact there. And tell you what, he's lucky on that one that he didn't get hit with a flagrant 2 foul, which would be an ejection.
Yeah, he would have been out of the game if he had, and the league is doing everything it can to protect its players. And you know, Steve, I think the officials have a really good understanding here of when to issue those unnecessary contact calls. And both free throws good for LeBron. The Nuggets 2 seasons ago, Steve, won a franchise best 57 games and were considered a fringe championship contender, even as a young team. But it's been a steep decline since.
Well, the injury to Gallinari hurt, the defection of Iguodala to the rival Warriors, and mass turnover in the front office and the coaching staff. So they are now trying to regain that stability.
It's stolen by Lawson. Fareed outside. Back to Lawson. He kicks to Fareed. The Nuggets moving the ball around. Lawson with it. Guarded now by Irving. And it's out of bounds. The Nuggets able to retain possession here. Mike Miller's checked in for Jackson. Clock at 4. Foy. And again, Denver no good.
And for the Nuggets last season, they traded away starting center Costa Koufos to Memphis in an effort to free up space for JaVale McGee, the promising young center. Then McGee, unfortunately, was out most of the season with a broken leg. That set him back in terms of his progress, but he's still a center that's on the rise. That's a combination, quite honestly, of a bit of a questionable decision and then some bad luck as well. It's basically been all him. I mean, he scored most of the points himself.
The Nuggets making a switch here. Gallinari's checked in, and Cleveland also making a change. Shumpert's checked in.
But guys, when I look at the Nuggets, I see a young team with great depth. They still have a chance to be a real factor in the West.
Fareed dishes to Foy. To the left wing. Here's Gallinari. Banked in off the glass. Gallinari's got 11 points.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
And even if it costs them some foul trouble, I mean, they need to start putting some bodies on bodies. Be physical.
Nice shot by James.
His switch has definitely been flipped to on this quarter, guys.
The Nuggets trail by 18. Foy, the pass to Lawson. Kicks it to Foy. Miller against Chandler. And Lawson, here we go. Pass to Foy. There's Gallinari with the three. Shot's good. He's got 14.
I'll tell you what, he's enjoyed a very good day shooting the ball so far. He can bring them right back into this.
A nice shot by Irving. And the Cavaliers lead by 17.
And another gap in the defense found right there. This is one of the worst defensive performances I have ever seen.
Here is Lawson. 10 points for him. He feeds it to Gallinari. Dishes it to Lawson. Lawson right side. Rejected by Irving. Out of bounds. Cleveland takes possession.
Looking now at some numbers on Ty Lawson. Good season for him last year. He averaged about 17 points a game, 8 assists and 3 rebounds. Certainly not numbers he should be disappointed in, but we know what a high standard he holds himself to.
Well, quite honestly, I hope he's not disappointed. I mean, he's been giving them major contributions on a daily basis.
Foy with it, and it's Miller picking him up. And Foy kicks to Gallinari. Puts it up. And it comes off the front of the rim.
You're not doing your team any good forcing a shot like that one.
You know, I agree. He's got to know better than that.
James dishes to Irving. That's blocked. An even 3-on-3 break. And stolen by Miller. An easy 2 points on the layup. 33 points for LeBron. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for Cleveland.
Boy, defensively, they've played with a high energy level, guys, and all the steals we've seen, really a result of that aggressiveness.
You know, adding to that, Steve, you look at their block totals tonight, and you see how feisty they've been on the defensive end this game.
Ty Lawson's somewhat undersized at the point guard position at 5'11", but he makes up for it with his strength, and he really competes defensively. He is not easy to push around.
He'll take his third and fourth free throw shots of the game right here.
And he was up over the 80% mark from the free throw line last year. I'm sure he was pretty happy with those numbers.
Here's what Denver's going with right now. JaVale McGee's checked in for Kenneth Faried. Arthur comes in for Wilson Chandler. And Nelson is subbed in for Randy Ford. And for Lawson, the issue defensively, not so much getting overpowered, Clark. There's just certain shots he can't get to.
Yeah, well, he's not the biggest guard. I mean, he's actually one of the smaller guards we have in the league, but he's powerful, he's explosive, and he does on occasion get outsized, and he just has to do the best he can in those situations.
Denver making a switch here. Harris is checked in.
Boy, they were ready for him right there. I mean, totally collapsed the defense on it.
To the paint. Here's Gallinari. Good. And Harris gets the assist. Gallinari's got 7 points for the quarter.
And that's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
I just love the mentality they've had. If a shot isn't there, they're not forcing anything. They're moving it side to side and working to get a good shot.
They're straying away from the three-point game here in the second half. And that's fine as long as they're on the lead and they're getting good shots. They've decided not to take nearly as many three-pointers in this half.
Offensive rebound. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the layup. Gallinari's got 9 points now in just the second half. Irving attacking. Out to Shumpert. McGee with the block. And they get it back.
Boy, still waiting for their first miss from the foul line this half.
100% since halftime, is that right? I'm not sure this lead's going away anytime soon if that keeps up.
The first one falls.
Timofey Mozgov, 7'1", a shot blocker and rebounder. Still pretty foul-prone defensively, but he has really become an interior presence.
Nelson, the pass to McGee. Here's Harris, and blocked. Irving attacking. Here's Mozgov. Out of bounds. Denver takes possession. There's 25 seconds left in the third. Nelson kicks to McGee. Gallinari dishes to McGee. From about 16, and it's Gallinari missing. Mozgov down low, and he banks in the layup. Mozgov's got 4 points in the quarter.
The defense pretty much helpless there, stopping that layup. I think too much of a mismatch in terms of height.
Oh, he put it down!
It'll count.
What a shot!
I think that one was
at
good.
the buzzer!
Oh, miracle heave to finish off the quarter. How did he get that to go down?
A nice release and some good concentration as well, but the biggest thing about that, a whole lot.
And here. The Cavaliers leading by 15. You've got Harris. JaVale McGee is out there with Arthur. Then there's Gallinari. And it's Nelson in at the point guard position. That's the group on the floor for Denver. And that one's good. And that's now 6 points for Shawn Marion.
They're forcing the ball inside, and it's working beautifully.
Yeah, the defense has been futile here. 5 of the last 6 field goals in the lane.
Gallinari passes to McGee. Uses the glass that time, and it's good. The Cavaliers shooting pretty good tonight at 48%. The feed to Marion. It's stolen by Arthur. And it's Harris off the drive. And Gallinari kicks to Harris. Nelson outside. He dishes it to McGee. Good, and a nice assist from Nelson. McGee's got 4 points in the quarter.
You know, when he gets the ball that close to the basket, it's almost an automatic 2 points.
Well, the defense has to battle him down there and keep him out of position in the first place. Do your work early.
Jackson kicks to Shumpert. Drills it from outside. And the Cavaliers lead by 16.
Boy, he found the perfect spot behind the arc there. Big gap in the defense.
About a minute and a half through the fourth quarter now. Here's Gallinari. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
You know, so many games are decided by which team wins the rebound battle. And that's held true in this one so far, Steve.
And even if it's only a modest advantage that they have in that category, it's still a significant factor.
Nelson kicks to McGee. McGee a screen. Gallinari dishes to McGee.
Shawn Marion, with 15 years in the NBA, a very good 15 years, basically talked about retiring even though he was still playing well at the conclusion of last season. Although I guess he did have a change of heart. Terrific game for McGee. He has 9 points, and he's rejected a shot over the course of the game, too.
That seems like it could have been more because he's been in position to make plays defensively most of the game.
Here's what Denver's going with right now. Oh,
Look out!
watch out below! Wow! Putting on a show for these people.
I cannot believe he pulled that one out in the course of an actual game. Are you kidding me?
Oh, man. Might as well flaunt it if you've got it, Clark.
Back to Lawson. Keeps it alive. Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in. That's 10 points for Kenneth Faried.
Relentless on the glass is what he is, and that tip-in was the result of all the hard work he puts in down low.
From deep, LeBron, and another three for Cleveland.
What a top-notch game he's having. He's gotten them in front, and it sure seemed like he's going to keep them there. All by himself, it looks like.
Here's Foy, and that one's good.
Well, sometimes when you're at a height disadvantage, that's the way to attack. Go right at your defender.
It's Jackson with the drive. Shumpert gets a wide open look. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Jackson's got 4 assists now tonight.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
Yeah, they're making the right play. They're working together, and they're just looking for the best shot they can every possession.
The Cavs just never really built any consistency last year for long stretches, and, you know, when that happens, it's hard to get wins away from home.
Nurkic checked in for JaVale McGee. And Cleveland with a change here, too. Irving's checked in. Goes up the baseline, and again it's Cleveland.
And his confidence has come back since halftime after really a rough first 2 quarters.
The Nuggets trail by 21. Cleveland, as you said, struggling on the road last year, only 14 road wins. That's not going to cut it. Lawson kicks to Foy. 14 feet away. The putback and finished off by Fareed.
That kind of putback turns a simple rebound into a highlight play.
He assaulted the glass, you're right, then assaulted the rim.
Yeah, now that's getting the job done on the boards.
The drive by LeBron. Outside Jackson. Launches it. Rebounded by Fareed. Fareed's got rebound number 10 tonight with that last one. Well, a big part of the problem for Cleveland last year was talent on the roster, so you can assume things will be different. Clark on the road for him this season.
Things are going to be different in a lot of ways as long as LeBron is leading the way. And they'll be on the same page. He'll make sure of that. So look for a lot different outcomes in Cleveland.
He has not been on his game, and, you know, their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not helped the situation.
The Nuggets trail by 19. Chandler goes in, and that one's good. And here's Jackson. Passes it to Verjao. James outside. James left side. And they double up James. Irving from long range. Good, and the assist goes to LeBron. LeBron's got his 3rd assist on the night. The Nuggets have gone 6 of 11 since the start of the 4th quarter. Chandler with the screen on Irving. And there's the pass to Chandler. Fades away. Chandler with another miss.
Ouch. Another miss to add to what's been a miserable game for him from the field.
Jackson gets the bucket.
Even with the D lurking, he made it look easy with the soft finger roll.
And Lawson with the drive. Lays it in without an inch of room around him.
Boy, nice work inside. Tough to get that shot over a big defender like that.
No, that takes skill and creativity, Steve, particularly on the release to make sure he doesn't get a hand on it.
And the Cavaliers call time here.
Well, jersey advertising, an idea that had been bandied about for a long while. Last season, in lieu of that, the league tested out advertising on the court apron for the first time, as well as a small ad on the top of the backboards. So the league, of course, always looking for new revenue streams.
The Cavaliers leading by 20. And Steve, you mentioned the apron advertising. It's only being allowed for locally broadcast games.
And I think that makes sense, Kevin. Viewers probably see it more than they would see stitching on a player's jersey. And I think keeping the ads off the court and the players is a good line to draw.
Foy, the pass to Lawson. That one goes. Count it. Lawson's got 4 points now in the quarter.
That's kind of his strong suit, the ability to find his way through the defense and finish at the rim.
Outside for Jackson. From the arc. Denver grabs the miss. Nurkic has got rebound number 9 now. What an effort here tonight. Lawson dishes to Foy. For the 3, Chandler. Here's Nurkic. And 3 chances on that possession, but they just couldn't find a way to score. James kicks to Irving. Good, and the assist goes to LeBron. And that's now 11 points for Kyrie Irving.
Boy, it's been a tale of 2 halves, hasn't it, guys? After a terrible first half, he's really picking it up.
The Nuggets trail by 20. Lawson drives in. There's the triple. The shot is off, and Cleveland will come the other way. Pass to Love, stolen by Fareed. Foy with it, working on James, and he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
You know, the Denver Nuggets had a ton of injuries last year, and it's hard to say exactly where this team could have ended up if they were able to stay healthy.
As you said, Denver last year, injuries took their toll as 4 different players were shut down for the season.
And Foy hits both of them. Injuries hit every team, Clark, as you said, but when you lose as many as Denver did, it's a bit different.
Yeah, it really is. And then you factor in having a first-year head coach, Brian Shaw, who I think is going to be outstanding, but injuries can take a toll on even the best of coaches.
Verjao comes with the double team. Here's Nurkic. The baseline jumper goes down.
That's a clean look they gave him there, fellas, and he drains those.
Irving passes to Verjao. Outside for Jackson. No good on the triple.
He's really slowed down a bit here in the second half. He hasn't converted a 3 yet after the tremendous first half he had.
Well, tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. An impressive win for the Cavaliers.
The blocking really turned things into their favor this time.
Well, Kevin, timing and anticipation, they got the blocks, and that definitely changed the momentum in this one.
And every win important. And this one will go down as win number 3.
And it always feels good to get that first win in the season series. Going head-to-head twice this year, this will put them up 1-0 so far against the Nuggets.
Fantastic show put on. What an amazing game all around it was for LeBron James. He was extremely efficient offensively, getting looks, knocking down big shots all game long.
The shot's good from Fareed.
It's interesting. They're like a different team now. Suddenly, they've got energy.
You know, it's not going to change anything, though, other than to make their losing margin a little more respectable.
Here's Jackson. Here's Love. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. And the Cavaliers lead by 15.
Well, they've done a great job keeping the fans out of the game today, and the closer they get to the win, the quieter it gets.
Yeah, we call that the sweet sounds of silence. They're going to savor this win, as well they should. Every road win carries a little extra reward.
The shot by Chandler, wide open. Again, the miss by Chandler. Cleveland's gone over and over to the three-point shot in the fourth quarter. 4 of 9. Shot's good.
Boy, they're extending their lead. It kind of feels like they're just piling on here as we come to an end.
Well, hey, let's just call it what it is. They are trying to run it up on them.
Over in the corner, Foy. And again, Denver, no good. The drive by James. Misses the chippy right there. So we see the Cavaliers taking the win here. Not much to be critical of with this win, Clark.
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play. They showed up to give great effort and to win, and they did both.
And now let's go over to Doris Burke on the sideline for an interview with the Jordan Player of the Game. Doris, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. Congratulations, LeBron, on this win. What were the contributing factors to how well this team played tonight?
Came out with a lot of intensity. Offensively, we moved the ball, and everyone was involved. And defensively, try to get as many stops as possible, and we were able to do that.
Thank you so much. Back to you guys at the table.
All right, Doris, thank you. And for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. Now, our Jordan Player of the Game, LeBron James.